Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another edition of Top 5 Best Graphics Cards for the Money. Now, this is a very interesting time, as I'm sure all of you guys know, in terms of graphics cards pricing, due to everything that's going on with mining. So buying retail GPUs is getting a little bit tricky. You really have to look out for deals. You really have to look out for when things come back in stock, and being very ardent in finding the right deals can get a little bit frustrating, but I'm hoping to make that process a little bit easier. These are 5 of the best value GPUs available right now when you're talking about price to performance. So without further ado, let's get right into this with number 5. Number 5, we've got the Gigabyte Radeon RX 560 2GB GPU. This is going for around $105 to $110, and it's a very nice entry-level GPU. It is only a 2GB GPU, which is kind of a bummer. You really want to get 4GB graphics cards, but at this budget, getting a 2GB GPU isn't that big of a deal, since with a GPU like this, you're only going to be playing lower key titles and dabbling in some higher end games. Obviously, you can play higher end games. You can play titles like Prey, Deus Ex, Witcher 3. Those games will run on the RX 560, just don't expect amazing performance at 1080p maxed out. It's going to give you something very comparable to a console, probably a little bit better. But for the price that it's going at, it's a very nice GPU to insert in an existing pre-built computer or something for a very low-end build. It's not bad at all. Moving on a little bit higher end, you've got the EVGA GeForce GTX 1050 Ti, which honest to God, if you look at every GPU on the market right now, and if you look at it from a price to performance ratio, the GTX 1050 Ti may be the best GPU on the market. Obviously, it's not a very high-end GPU, so that's kind of a problem, but at $140 to $150, it's a very solid 1080p GPU. It does have 4GB, which is very nice, and right now it also does come with a free copy of Rocket League, and that's a $20 game that I think a lot of people want to play, so that's a very nice inclusion. While Rocket League isn't going to bring the 1050 Ti to its knees from a technical standpoint, it is a very fun game. It's a game that you can spend a lot of time with, and getting it absolutely for free with the 1050 Ti is a very nice bonus. Otherwise, as far as performance goes, it's a solid pickup at its price. Moving on, at the mid to slightly higher end is where you're really seeing the GPUs being hit on their pricing. You really can't recommend any AMD GPUs right now. They're just way too overpriced. You've got RX 580s going for $500. Thanks, but no thanks. Number 3, I decided to put in the MSI GeForce GTX 1060, the 6GB model, because the 3GB model, I don't like that all that much. The 6GB model does come in at a hefty $310. Once again, comes with a free copy of Rocket League like the 1050 Ti. I know, the fact that I'm putting in a 1060 that's $310, that stings a lot, but comparatively speaking to a lot of the other GPUs, the price gouging with the 1060 isn't as absurd. This is about like a $50 to $60 price increase. Back a few months ago, if you found a good deal on a 1060 6GB, you could find them for like $240, $250, even a little bit lower than that. So $310, yes, it does sting, but it's still a very good GPU. I mean, the performance you get out of the GPU is still very high. It's just that with the price gouging, yeah, it does sting a little bit, but you know, it's a 20-25% price increase. Yes, it sucks. I'm not trying to defend it in any way possible, but it's better than, you know, the 150% price increase that some of the AMD GPUs are facing right now. So you gotta take what you can right now, and still price to performance, it's not a bad pickup. I mean, this GPU does do really well at 1080p gaming, and for $300, 1080p gaming doing really well at that, not too terrible. At 1440p, the 1060 can also do some damage in that, so it is a solid GPU for the price. Moving in, more price gouging, you've got the Asus GeForce GTX 1070, which is a whopping $470. This is one that I was like, man, I don't know if I can recommend that, because 1070s, if you found a good deal on them, you could get them for like $340 before the price increases happen, so $470 is kind of crazy. But if you buy the 1070, you're gonna be good for a while. This is an awesome GPU, whether you're gaming at 1080p or 1440p, it just rips through games, and I know most of you guys are just looking to max out games at 1080p and to get a really good experience at that resolution, and for that, the 1070, while you are getting ripped off right now, it's gonna give you very nice performance while you max out the majority of titles. I say the majority because, as I've always said, there's a few anomalies here and there, whether they be bad ports or just very hard games to run, that even the best GPUs have a hard time maintaining 60 FPS. Yes, 470 is expensive, but this is a GPU that rips through games. You're talking about games like Witcher 3, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, Resident Evil 7, all those games, the GTX 1070 will destroy them at 1080p and even 1440p. Finally, we have the Asus GeForce GTX 1080 Ti, which is a very high-end GPU. It is available on Amazon for $700, which isn't that bad of a price on the 1080 Ti. I believe the launch price on the 1080 Ti was $600, so $700 isn't that crazy. I know, I feel disgusting just for even saying that, but it is what it is. I mean, if you're looking to drop $600 on a GPU, is another $100 $700 is gonna break your bank too bad. Hopefully not. But the 1080 Ti, once again, this is a monster of a video card. It's got 11 gigabytes of GDDR5X. This is a GPU you can do solid 1440p and even 4K gaming at. It's just a monster of a GPU, and that's warranted given its hefty price. And it's one of those GPUs that, yes, it's seen a $100 bump, but comparatively speaking to a lot of the other video cards, percentage-wise, that isn't too crazy. And once you start messing around with the GPU and see its performance, you know, that $700 probably will be worth it. So that's gonna wrap up this video, guys. Soon I will have an eBay GPU hunting video, which eBay might be one of the destinations you want to look at when picking up a video card. Right now, you really have to be crafty. If you do want to get a really good deal on a GPU, eBay is the place to go. You gotta look for listings. Right as they're posted, I'll share some crafty ideas in that video. But for those of you that want brand new GPUs off Newegg or Amazon, there you go. Some of them are a bit expensive, but it is what it is for now. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you have a request for a future video, leave it in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.